Hey you guys! In this evening's video, I'm going to tap and scratch through a grocery store here in Egypt that my husband and I go to often, and just share a bit about the products. I've done some grocery store videos before, and you guys have really enjoyed seeing kind of the difference between a grocery store here in Egypt and maybe where you live. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the others because this is one of the largest. It's called the COD, is the name of the shop. It's one of the largest I've seen, so it really has a large variety of international items as well. So it's kind of unique because we can't find all these products most of the time, but if you ever are in Egypt and you need to find some products that are international products, this is probably some of the bigger shops are going to have what you need. So we're starting off with the tea section. This is called Ahmed tea. And we have some of this in our home. The tea and coffee sections in Egypt are very large. There's tons and tons of different kinds of coffees and teas. You can see this is Lipton, which we have in the US at most grocery stores. We have it here in Egypt too, in most of our grocery stores. Lipton's quite popular here as well. But of course in the US we don't typically have Ahmed tea in each of our stores, so that's, like I was kind of mentioning, we've got a mix here. This is actually fresh mint that's been dried, and we drink warm hot water with fresh mint inside of it here. Some people put some sugar, others leave it without. I literally just had a cup of hot water with fresh mint, so we have it a lot here. It's so delicious. And even though we're on the cereals here, I'm going to keep talking about the tea for a second. We do actually have fresh mint that we buy in the stores. That's what I'm having here now. But you can also dry it and then have it in packages like we just saw there. So, okay, onto the cereals. One thing that stands out to me about the cereal sections in the US is that they are gigantic. We have so many kinds of cereals. Look at this cute little bear. And here in Egypt we don't have those huge sections. This particular store has more than usual, like I said, but these are called Timmy's, and it's kind of a brand here that you can get for cheaper than basically the American brands of like cornflakes. You can get a Timmy's version. But here you've even got Cheerios here, like really unique kinds of Cheerios too. Most of these would not be found in most of our grocery stores here. Only the Timmy's would. You've got Lion, caramel and chocolate. That just sounds like a dessert. Now this is £150 for that one, which is actually not too bad. It's about $3. It's actually a pretty good price. The cereals here that have been imported are usually really expensive. banana pillow, honey rings, caramel loops. I've never had a caramel cereal before personally. This is a version of cornflakes there. And then here you actually have Kellogg's, which again, this would be rare to find this many options of Kellogg's, but they're much more expensive. So 300 Egyptian pounds, so it's about $6. Fruit Loops, oh my gosh, I haven't had Fruit Loops for years. I used to love Fruit Loops as like a snack, not with milk or anything, just a bowl of Fruit Loops, kind of like a candy. And they've got Frosties here too. Okay, something we have a lot of in Egypt is dried fruit. These are little dried mangoes. They're really expensive also though. Those are dried plums. Golden raisins. These are hazelnuts. Roasted almonds. Pistachio. Those look like sliced almonds. We've got tons of nuts and dried fruit in all the stores. Some cashews and walnuts, you name it. But nuts are expensive here. So this is something I thought you might be interested in seeing, because in the US we have milk always in like the cold refrigerated sections, but here milk is sold without being in a refrigerated section. So they're just sitting on the normal shelves. They're sold in these bottles. This looks like a bottle of creamer in the US, but that's how the milk is sold here, in these cartons. It's the same in a lot of parts of Europe, I've noticed too. Once you open it, you do need to refrigerate it, but when you purchase it, it's not refrigerated. So this is also something that would be rare to find in most grocery stores here, and it's coconut milk, especially the large variety that they have in here. Lots of different options, coconut cream and coconut milk. Look at this. We've got some Nestle products, full cream, looks like some condensed milk kind of stuff. This is also a specialty of Egypt. We've got tahini and halawa. This is like, so tahini is like a sesame seed paste. That's absolutely delicious. It's used in like hummus. When you eat hummus, there's always tahini in it. And we make lots of dips with it. It's just delicious. I thought I saw halawa, but I guess it must have just been tahini. Lots and lots of options of tahini. Here's halawa. What is this? Floss. So I think this is halawa but floss. I'll explain halawa once we get to that. I'll explain it now because I think we're there. Yeah, so this is basically, it's also made of sesame, I believe. It's sweet. People love this here. It's not my favorite, but people love it in Egypt. It's like a nice sweet, almost like a spreadable type of product. You can like put it on some bread and other, like, what else would people spread it on? I don't know, but people love it. pistachios on your halawa. Okay, we've got a chocolate section here, tons and tons of different chocolate bars. This is a milk chocolate kunafa bar. I think I just realised for the first time, I always see these Dubai chocolates, and what I just saw there, as they described as a kunafa bar, looked like. So kunafa is a dessert here in Egypt. It's almost like a shredded wheat that you add like what's the word, like sugar, but like heated with water, like a simple syrup or something. And sometimes they add like nuts and raisins and things, but when you do it just by itself, it looks like they've added chocolate to that and created that kind of Dubai chocolate. Interesting. Okay, tangent. Back to the chocolate bars. So Cadbury's all over the place in Egypt. Tons of dairy milk and like tons and tons of different kinds. Hazelnut. They've got like filled chocolates. They've got like Oreo chocolates. Small, large. They are kind of expensive, but they are really, really delicious chocolate bars. See that? It's like filled with Oreo. And they have these bubbly, like, they're kind of like almost crunchy in a way. I've tried them before. Got like air bubbles in them, create a bit of a crunch. Now this is something I don't see in most stores in Egypt, the microwavable popcorn. Usually we just buy the kernels. So there's lots of different wheats and products that we use for our like meals, that some of which we don't have in the US, but others we do. That's just chickpeas. So we've got lots and lots of beans and lentils, and this is what is that there? Oh, that's to make tahini. So that means it's chickpeas and some other products put together. Tahini is got chickpeas and some other kinds of beans all put together and fried, and it's a delicious, delicious meal. Got lentils. We call in the US what we call that. We call it falafel. That's the same as tahini. White beans. We have lots of white beans here. Lots of, we've got yellow, red, brown lentils. And of course pasta. We have lots and lots of pasta here. Egyptians eat a lot of pasta actually. There's one meal here called macaroni bechamel, which is quite famous in Egypt. It's basically pasta with a white bechamel sauce, and usually people put minced meat and some red sauce. It's very Italian obviously, but it's become a very well-known Egyptian dish, like that families have for like special times together. It's also an everyday item too, but it's special here. Lots and lots of noodles. So pre-packaged, flavoured noodles. And then this is something that's like, because it's a specialty shop with international items, you can find lots of different types of noodles. So soba noodles, udon noodles, ramen noodles. there's a wheat noodle there, egg noodles, rice noodles, lots of rice noodles, so there's some good options there. These are really spicy noodle packs. They're like Korean spices. I tried one of these once, and I literally couldn't eat it. It was so spicy. The spice, usually spice doesn't bother me, but the flavour also wasn't there for me. So it might just be me, but I know people love them. Lots of like packages of different kinds of sauces you can make that they come where you just need to add the liquids. And then of course we've got tons of different rices, and these are like cookies. This is a famous store in Egypt, and a lot of the like grocery stores carry their kind of brand of cookie. It's a sweets shop that you can go to, but then the stores hold their brand as well. What's this one? These are chocolate, cinnamon and anise, I think it's in. Yeah, like something that says keto on it you normally wouldn't find in Egypt. We've got lots of like almost like toast or dried kind of like here, perfect. Look at this, like a breadstick. Lots and lots of options like this. Let's see, like that little kind of toast. And even like larger ones like this that are dried. My Italian nana used to call them biscotti. Like she would dip them into things like drinks and stuff. But we have lots of options like that here in Egypt. Another area that's quite important to Egyptians is like the pickled section. So we've got lots of items that are pickled. Of course they've got olives, but they've also got, like as you can see, the carrots and turnips, and all sorts of things get pickled. Lots of vegetables get pickled here and are eaten at everyday lunches in the home. And then of course an actual, I guess what we call a pickle. Got lots of flavours of yogurt in Egypt. Yogurt's a big part of meals here, but we've also now got these like little flavoured yogurts. The section's huge for yogurt here. There's kind of like this middle ground between cheese and yogurt that we have in Egypt, of softer cheeses like these, some fetas and others that some of them we don't really use in the US. We have feta, but some of these others, this is still like feta cheeses, but they're like basically like spreadable cheeses here that we don't really have in the US. More yogurt. Big packs of yogurt. And then some of these really like specialty brands with some granola on top. It says lychee flavoured. I love Greek yogurt because it has so much protein in it. It's cute. There's like a company company here, I think Sarah's Jar. So this is a fun section to look at, being someone that is a foreigner here in Egypt, having like these sections with some like salsa and stuff. You don't find that in most stores here. Got some different kinds of sauces that you can purchase for your pastas. We've got some pizza sauce here. This is the one that I use when I make pizza here. Although I really want to start using my own sauce because I like it more just with like sauteing tomatoes with oil and salt and a few different herbs. But yeah, there's lots of options in this store. Sun-dried tomatoes, they're quite expensive here, but I do love them. Pestos, more pizza sauce. But yeah, this is the one that I get happy when I see because it's hard to find here. But you can find lots of different hot sauces, like some of those above, got ketchups. But yeah, some of these like craft barbecue sauces are unique for this store, considered to be like international products. Lots of different spices. Got some sweet and sour sauces here if you want to go for an Asian style sauce. Got lots of soy sauce options. And then some different kinds of, I think those are vinegars. Not sure, some Thai sauces. Lots of people love mayonnaise in Egypt. We've got lots and lots of kinds of mayonnaise, different flavoured, like for dips and things like that. Chipotle mayonnaise. We have like a shrimp meal here. Maybe we have this in the US too and I just don't know. But it's called shrimp dynamite and you have shrimp with this really delicious like spicy mayo. So good. And then some mustards too. I don't find mustard very often here, but it looks like they've got lots of options here. It wasn't until I was in France with my friend who's French and I visit her that I had like one of those really delicious mustards and I was like, oh, this is mustard. Look at all these. So now this is really common. We have this brand in Egypt all over the place with different kinds of sauces. But then this is like an international product, a Heinz burger sauce. I will say I tried to make an egg salad maybe the first year or two when I lived here, and the mayonnaise I got was not good at all. So you really do have to find the right mayonnaise for that. And I couldn't find like the brand that I use in the US, and I used something here and it was not great. So look carefully if you're trying to make something like that. Maybe use one of their flavoured mayos because they're really good with the flavoured mayos, but the basic one is hard to find. Now in the baking section, we've got some sprinkles here. These are really fun. I considered buying these for gingerbread house this year, but at the time when I filmed this, I knew I was going to the US and I knew I was going to get a bunch of things there, so I didn't purchase any yet. But look, they got like the sprinkles and the coloured little balls as well. Yeah. maybe next year. I know where I can go to get some decorations for my gingerbread house now. I guess this is that food colour? No, is it food colouring? I guess so. Maybe it's not, maybe it's, what is that, guys? I don't know what those are. This is vanilla. And then we've got a whole section of different chocolates again here. And some baking chocolate in particular. Plus lots of like boxed desserts that you can make from a box, like Jello. Most Jello in the US contains gelatin, so that's a pork product, and in Egypt most people don't eat pork, so these are Jellos that are free from the standard gelatin. So we are coming to the end of our little grocery store tap through. So as I tap on these desserts, I just want to thank you for watching the video. I hope it was kind of fun to see the different products and see what an international store has here, as opposed to some of the grocery stores I've shown you before. But also, I hope it's also been nice seeing a lot of the Egyptian products as well. Like this brand here, Dream, is you can find this in most stores here in Egypt. Although I will say the quality is not as good if you were to find like a Betty Crocker brand here. It's a little bit harder to find. You could find it in this store though. The international stores, there you can see on the right there was Betty Crocker. So I will say the Betty Crocker's better, but it is a little more expensive, but worth it. They've got Dirty Cookies. That's like a famous shop in Los Angeles, I think, that they have brought here to Egypt. Okay, you guys, so thank you for everything. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you guys so much for everything.